Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Miss Gabby, and welcome to Kepa Home in Gold, Detroit. Today, we're doing something super awesome and super special to celebrate Pride Month. It's the entire month of June, and Miss Allie got us started on it already with making Pride bracelets. So I'm really excited, and big shout out to College for Creative Studies, General Motors, and the Community Education Commission of Detroit, because without them, a lot of this would not be possible. We have such an amazing archive of so many already pre-recorded, like free art tutorials, and that's right, they're free. They're amazing. So today we're celebrating and we're making something super awesome and simple. It's a process, but once you get the hang of it, it's super easy and super fun to make. You'll not stop. So yeah, let's get into it, and then we'll learn a little bit of history of Pride Month and what we're celebrating. So let's get started. So yeah, you can see that we are making today these awesome rainbow yarn, macrame, threaded, whatever you want to call them, rainbow wall hanging. So I said you can use rope or yarn or anything of that sort. So, and here are a few different varieties and also like thicknesses. So, super awesome, super pretty. You can give them as gifts and hang them all as decorations. And see this one. So I kind of made them in different thicknesses, colors, and like amounts. So first you'll need is like a nice thick natural rope. This is going to be like our base, to wrap all around, and then you'll need some thinner yarn here. And the one I'm going to be using today, this one is purple because I have not used that one yet. So this is just like all of that what I've had. But, a lot of people like to use the actual rainbow, and the rainbow is pretty much used for Pride, and basically this whole month is about like self-affirmation, dignity, equality, and increased visibility about the LGBTQ community. And that's, what we want to do, celebrate, because we want to, just be like thoughtful and mindful, and inclusion of everybody and everything, and just like spreading love and choosing happiness and being happy. So, each colors like even also represent different things. But so we have the rope, thinner yarn. I have a hot glue gun with an extra glue stick here, scissors, and I have a ruler because we'll need to measure them out. And optional, like a brush to like help brush out the ends here. But let us just like jump right in. So what you want to start off with is, if you want to go with the thinner ones, you will just need like, how many ever you're going to need. But here you'll need like double the amount. So this one used 2 threads of this. So let's just go ahead and we'll make 3, and I'll do it at the double way so we can see. So I'm just going to make 2 of 6.5 inches. So I'm going to take my finger, make the mark there, and go ahead and cut. So then I'll just do and go ahead and cut 2 strings there. So there. And I want to make sure that I'm going to be leaving a good amount. So this is kind of representing a cloud. So I'm just going to maybe be like an inch and a half. What I'm going to do is just place a little bit of glue there and stick them together. So then right away, our awesome rope is going to stick together. So like I said, once you get the hang of it, it's going to be super awesome and super quick to make like quite a bit. So here we go. And you want to be careful if you're using the hot glue gun, not to work too fast. And, less is more with these. It's totally okay. So I'm going to put this one off right to the side here. So because we're kind of going in layers, and, we kind of want to create them so it's falling in line and, kind of giving that rainbow effect. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 6-inch. So 6-inch here and 6-inch. So you can seriously choose any kinds of colors, to accent, your rainbow. You can follow the actual rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. But I just had what I had, and that's what I was going to use. But so now we'll do 5.5. So I hold it in 5.5. So there's a little bit of hair, and cut. Measure that there and cut. So if you have an adult helping you measure, that's awesome. That's what they're there for, to help, especially with the hot glue too. So I just finished cutting that. I'm gonna put my ruler off to the side. I'm gonna add that there. So remember just to leave a little bit of like maybe like 1.5-inch thread on the end there, kind of not glued together, because that's basically where we'll start the yarn, the wrapping of our yarn. So it's okay if it goes a little farther, that's all right. And we'll grab this one, take this here, and if you want to measure it out exactly with the ruler, by all means. I just like to eyeball it because I kind of like how they're not all super perfect and even. They kind of fall line in like that. And if you want to really make sure that's not moving in the middle there, just a little bit of, see, I'm just using just like quite a bit. And you don't have to worry about the glue kind of going all over because it's going to be covered anyway. So you see that, these little strings. So you see now that it's kind of like a gradual shortening of the yarn. So you can kind of see they're going that, and then because once we fold them, you know, like there'll be like a smallest, middle, and a large. So I'm gonna put my glue gun aside. Just be careful because it is hot. And next I'm gonna go ahead and just grab my yarn. Just gonna kind of clean everything off to the side. But if you want to, you can go ahead and tie a knot here. But since we have the glue gun, what I've been just doing is, you know, kind of taking my glue gun, putting a little bit of a dot there. It's not even a dot, it's just like a little switch of a line. Kind of folding the end inside there, and then starting to wrap there kind of where I want it to start. So, and I'm wrapping it really tightly, so it's giving that nice, like really tight look, kind of like the macrame. So, using the yarn and just tightly, I'm not letting it loosen, I'm doing it right up to the next, to like the previous loop that I've kind of done, see? So I'm doing it really nice and tight, and it's okay if you see the rope a little bit, you know, it's, you can just kind of stop, maybe to go back just a little bit, and like push it down even if you're noticing. So I'm gonna just give myself a little bit more slack here from my yarn and just continue to wrap. So yeah, so each color of the rainbow for pride and like the symbol of pride, they all mean something different, you know. So red is like symbolic for life, and orange is for spirit, and yellow is for sunshine, and green is for nature, blue is for harmony, and purple is for spirit. So I really like that the purple is for spirit, you know, that because that just like I feel like represents, you know, like who you are like as a person, you know, to really kind of hold that spirit. And I've already made so many colored here like this one, and I really love the blue one, and I love this yarn that has like the different shades, you know, because it kind of gives the rainbow so much more like life, you know, just with the different shades. So I'm just gonna kind of go a little faster here just by wrapping. And once we get close to the end, I'm gonna take the same thing as I did before at the beginning and just use a little bit of glue and just wrap it nice and tight. So I just kind of held that tightness the whole way. And it's okay if it kind of shows up a little, like kind of, I'm just gonna take a little bit of glue and just push it down. So there we go. And there we have it, our first one. There's our first wrap. So now we can take our second string, or second, I'm sorry, our second rope, and we're gonna start the same way. Just take a little bit of glue, and I really like it. Just, this is making sure that it's going to be secure entirely and really not unraveling, which is, you know, that's what we want. We don't want this to unravel in the future. So really making sure that everything is secure. So you can kind of see now I'm working a little faster just for the sake of time, but I'm really loving this yarn. And like the different shading it's really giving me with the different hues of purple. you know, which I really love. That's, you can see with my examples, but you could start to get ideas here with maybe whatever kind of yarn you have available to you, and, you know, picking the certain colors, you know, making it more maybe earth tones or maybe more warm, or, you know, really following along with the pride colors. But you could seriously decorate so many things and hang them anywhere, make a keychain, really kind of do whatever. And seriously, once like you're seeing this, right, it doesn't take much, and once you get the hang of it, you can just keep going and create so much. So I'm just gonna take that, put that down. If it doesn't go down all the way, I'm just gonna take a little bit of my glue gun, just the heat of it, a little bit of the glue, and really kind of mesh that into it. Boom, voila. So you can start to see how it's really coming together, which is awesome. So I'm trying to keep these in line here, that you can see. Maybe I'll bring it down just a little bit closer to my workstation so you can see, and you can still see the example. But yeah, so it's coming and looking pretty good right now, I should say. So we're almost done. So I'm just gonna take my last one. Like I said, I'm gonna just grab a little bit of glue. Not too much. Like I say, a little goes a long way. Take the end of my yarn here, and add a little bit of slack there, put it in, and go ahead and start wrapping. You want to be careful if you want to wait a few seconds for the hot glue to cool off, maybe. That's like a really good idea, but you can see how I'm just tightly holding on to my natural rope and then tightly wrapping my yarn, so my colored string. So if you have like thread or something, anything else, you can definitely use that too. But you know, you want to kind of have the same consistency of thread, just so it's kind of being consistent. But if you want to really make it your own, maybe add even like beads or something into it, maybe on the ends, or I can show you on the loop. We can show you how to do that too. So I'm gonna just add a little bit of glue, not too much, and just wrap it a few more times. I'm gonna snip. Take my glue gun just a little, make sure that I'm gonna just kind of push it down, or you can tie a knot, but I'm really okay with just using the glue gun, just because I know it's definitely securing. I kind of like how all of these are kind of falling a line in the same colors here. Maybe I like how they're kind of lining up just a little. Maybe I'll keep it that way. So now this is going to be the important part. Like this is where, you know, like you'll get the bend. So I kind of had this one loose and this one really tight. So I think I want to do like a little tight. So I'm just going to take my glue gun and we're going to glue them together now. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here, not too much. I don't want it to be spilling out or anything, just a little bit of glue, and line that up here and really push down. And so, but I really want to keep it like, so it's going to be like a very tight rainbow here. So this is going to be the important part. I need to add my glue stick to my glue gun. So I'm going to just take, because it's going to dry, so I'm going to just take that and really bend it, like once it's, so it will dry to this shape. So I just added more glue. You can kind of see it's coming on a little, and that's okay. I can use that, this side as the back side. There's not much glue coming out on this side. So yeah, you can make 3 ropes or 4, or really kind of add or interchange colors. You know, if you have like a bunch of yarn, use the same one over and over again to make the same color. But yeah, so, you know, this one won't reach all the way down like you can see, and that's okay. It's not perfect, but I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna just take this, put a bit of glue, just a little bit at a time. I like to do it, not the whole thing, because it might mess up and I don't want to deal with that pretty much. So I'm just really tightening it here, kind of grasping it, really tightening, putting it together. And then I'm going to take this, add some more glue to the end, and voila. So there we have that. So I'm really just letting it tight, letting it kind of maybe cool off, like really holding it, squeezing it. And so like while that's drying, I can just take some string. I'm gonna take a little bit. So this is to make it a wall hanging. You know, you can take this and tie a knot here. You can make it as long as you want depending on where you're going to hang it. I'm just cutting one piece of string, one piece of thread, and just tying a knot. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the middle right there and put a little nice glue dot, nice little puddle of glue. So yeah, you can see like why and how you can make so many of these after you just make one, because all you really need is like some thick thread and then quite a bit of like thinner thread or yarn, you know, and you know, it's okay if you don't have any thread that you know, will kind of create these like fuzzinesses, like kind of like macrame, and that's totally okay. So I just cut off the ends there and voila. So with this, you know, you can take your time and like kind of frill it out, like unravel this natural rope. But that's why, if this is optional, I have my brush here, and I can just start like brushing it. Like sometimes it's depending, you know, how it can look. But it just takes some time. You can like brush it out like some hair, pretty much like knotted hair. But I just want to make this nice and frilly, so kind of fray it a little bit, and since we did double, like I think it's gonna look really nice. You can see before and after using that side there. And so like my thread has like this like weird white part in the middle. I'm gonna keep that. I think it just gives it some nice like texture and thickness to my so-called clouds. And you can kind of see how that's all working together. Which I really like this kind of fraying, you know, and that's why I don't think it really matters entirely of like if, you know, everything is totally even, just because I think it looks really pretty either way, you know, with or without the leveled colors of yarn. You know, it just kind of gives it some more character. So there we have it. You know, you can just clean up all the little frays that comes off of it, but voila, very simple, very easy once you get the hang of it. I mean, look how many I've made, you know, and like maybe I'll grab some other colored yarn, but this is definitely so much fun to do, and like, you know, like a continuation of it is just so much fun. But yeah, so hopefully you followed along. You know, you can send us an email or share it with us in the comments if you like followed along. Definitely check out all of our other things, and happy Pride Month. It's such a wonderful time, you know, just live and spread love, show love, you know. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today, and stay tuned for some more free art tutorials.